Hey, what's up, everybody? Brendan Morse here from Red State. Schools nowadays are not safe, which is sad because the whole point of a school is to send your kid there for hours at a time to learn about the world, how it works, to read, write, arithmetic. But instead of teaching them how to think, nowadays schools teach them what to think. And the more that woke culture takes root in our society, the more cocky it gets, the more hubris it builds upon itself. And it's gotten to the point now where it starts to think that, you know what, maybe they should be in control of our children. And they do everything in their power that they can to enforce that. Oftentimes, they will try to do that behind your back. And there is one instance that I saw today that just blew me away. And it seemed like it was a teacher getting to the point where they were threatening the kids to jump on board. And I want to show you guys this because it's pretty surprising. You know what? No, I take that back. It's not surprising. I think it's actually right on course for what these woke teachers do. These hard leftist teachers and educators, quote unquote. I think it's actually par for the course at this point in time, but it's still shocking. It's still shocking to see that they have gotten this hubristic about it. Now, as you can see here, this is from Libs of TikTok. It says, received from a follower, a school in Cinnaminson, New Jersey. Homeschool your kids. Now, you'll notice that there's two pictures here. One of them is of the classroom, and there is an LGBT flag in the back of it, hanging off of one of the notice boards. And also right next to it is a sign, and the sign is what really caught my attention. It said, respect existence. Or, when there's a Black Lives Matter fist in the O, expect resistance. Now, I'm not sure if this is a attempt to indoctrinate the kids into being little activists, putting them into that attitude, or if it is a threat to the kids themselves. I do not see why it wouldn't be both. I think it is a teacher clearly proud of the hardcore leftism that he or she represents, or Zer, whatever they identify as. You never know nowadays. But I think that there is an element here of you're either with me or you're against me, and you don't want to be against me. Respect existence or expect resistance. And it's not uncommon for students that don't jump on board to the teacher's politics to get resistance. And not just resistance, but punishment. There have been stories all over the place over time of teachers who flunked students merely because of their politics, taking action against students because of their politics. Y'all recall the Mizzou teacher who not long ago, a student was simply just trying to film a protest, and the teacher asked for muscle to have the kid removed. There's this one story from the Daily Wire that was released in April. Teacher targets college student because she works for conservative radio station. And this was the story that was told. In my class this morning, this is from Leah Olmstead, my teacher was conversing with some other student when he says, but let's say we kill Leah and need to hide the body. Very odd statement for a teacher. You don't make that kind of joke. But he tries to write it off as one. I gave him a confused look, and he says, I'm kidding, then follows it up with, we're not going to kill you, but nobody likes you. I shot him a look, and he again says, I'm kidding. It's just because you work for a conservative radio station. Interesting. These students are encouraged to turn against other conservative students. Evergreen College is a really good example of that. You had these professors brainwash these students until they literally took the president of the college hostage. And they were carrying around bats and weapons, patrolling the school to make sure that other students fell in line. A lot of these students grow up to become activists. They go off and work at various places, such as Disney or entertainment studios. Many of them become professors and students, or professors of students that they then teach this same kind of nonsense to. So it does not surprise me at all that they have a sign like this. And I think it is both. It's both. Respect existence or expect resistance is both there to threaten the child and try to impose this kind of activism on them. Get it into them early so that they become just like these teachers and they spread their politics and their fascism around. It's not good lately to send your kid to these public schools. It's definitely not good to send them to universities that teach these kids how to be hardcore activists. And here's another one. It doesn't teach your children, again, how to think, but what to think. In fact, it doesn't seem to be teaching them anything anymore. This is from a UC San Diego professor who got on TikTok and basically told everyone that she no longer grades these students, doesn't even give them homework, doesn't do anything. Because, by the way, she wants to decolonize universities.
What's up, y'all? Dr. Purity here, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about how to decolonize a classroom and how I decolonize my teaching. So, first things first, we do not grade over here, okay? Anyone who takes my class automatically gets an A. They're told in the first week that they're going to get an A. The only thing that's required is attendance, and I have weeks of excused absences built in so that if people are sick or they have family obligations, it won't affect their grade. So since I'm not grading them, I'm just giving them A's. Like, how do I know that they're doing anything? And how do I know that they're learning anything? And so I also don't give homework. Surprise, surprise. And I run a discussion style classroom. So my students and I have equal part when it comes to bringing information to the table. We all sit together and share what we're talking about. And they get to use their critical thinking skills to apply the things they've learned in all their other classes. What's up, y'all? Dr. Purity here.
So there is no grading. There is no responsibility. None. Just show up. Just show up and talk. I'm willing to bet that this woman does not allow certain kinds of talk in the classroom like every other professor does in university. What's the point of sending your kid to school nowadays? That's the question. What's the point? If they get there and they learn how to be activists, they are brainwashed into believing whatever the teacher believes and forced to it, or else they flunk out, or else they're punished. So they learn nothing except for how to be tools, pawns, for a political party, for a political ideology. Today's education system is a joke. And I know, you know what? It's not a joke. It's dangerous. Today's education system is dangerous. Sending your kid there is like sending him to a hive, a den of thieves and liars, of evil people. These are the same schools that try to hide the fact that they are trying to indoctrinate your kids with transgender ideology, LGBT ideology. Okay. They try to introduce, gender fluidity to these kids, which has proven to be dangerous to their mental health. They try to hide that from you. And then if you find out, they try to fight back. They try very hard to make sure that you don't have any say over what your kid learns. This is why some of the parents in our country today have risen up and have become an unofficially very powerful political party on their own. I would say that parents are what won Virginia after Virginia school systems were found effectively pushing CRT and transgenderism on students, resulting in one of the students actually them trying to hide and cover up one of the students being sexually assaulted by a transgender student. This is the kind of public school system that we have nowadays, and it's one that needs to either be wholly reformed from the inside without mercy. Parents need to run for office. They need to take it over, or send your kid to homeschool. Find pods that maybe they could be students in. Find a way to educate your child by yourself if you have to. Because they are not safe right now in our education system, in America's education system, which has been wholly taken over by activists. I'm sure that there are teachers out there who truly do care about students, but it's a minefield at this point in time. They might be lucky and have a string of teachers that actually want to teach and have them learn, but the chances of them getting an activist teacher who will make them useless members of our society is way too high. Hey, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.